Welcome, everyone, to our Beyond Consulting podcast. Today, it's my very pleasure to have a special guest with us and also a very interesting topic. We're going to talk about banking today. And I have the pleasure with me having Thomas Courtois, CEO of Nickel, a fast-growing neobank. And they're operating based out of France, but cover also countries like Belgium, Spain, Portugal, and Germany, of course, which I'm very happy as a German, obviously. Thomas, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Hello, Christian. Hello, everyone.
Now, Thomas, you are CEO of Nickel today, but you have spent more than 20 years, so to say, 2 decades of experience in the banking sector. And you've served at BNP for more than 20 years. There are multiple stages. I will not read out all of them, but product manager, marketing manager, overseas networking manager, group manager in France, chairman of the board of direct for multiple subsidiaries. So could I say you've seen it all and done it all?
Well, I don't know if I've seen it all, but this is true that I was very lucky in the BNP Paribas group to have the opportunity to have this cursus inside the group. It's true that I started as a marketing project manager, and then I had the opportunity to manage several business entities or subsidiaries of the group. And after the group decided to buy Nickel, which was already a very successful fintech with only 3 years of existence, then after this buyout, BNP Paribas offered me the opportunity to manage Nickel, which I'm doing since 6 years from now.
And that is very exciting. So tell me a bit more. I want to learn from you. What fascinates you about banking? How was your journey, and how did you end up as a CEO of Nickel in the end?
Right. Well, I think that banking is a very powerful business, because this is one of the business that allow our customers to realize their project, and this is really the way I see banking, to allow our customers to realize our project. It was true when I was within BNP Paribas, managing business customers, but also private individuals. And with Nickel, I also found a fintech with a strong purpose. The purpose is to allow everyone to open an account and to manage his day-to-day budget, and receiving salaries, social allowances, and spending this money very simply. And I think this is a very powerful business, and that we are very useful to our customers. And that's what I like in banking.
And I like that you mentioned the name projects, not because we stuff projects at expertpowerhouse, but really seeing it, from the banking perspective as projects that you help customers, be it companies or individuals, to accomplish. Has it always been the case? Have the projects changed also? So are there new projects? So what are kind of, what's changed with the neobanking? What is really the difference going forward from your perspective?
Well, it's true that through Nickel, we managed to serve customers who were underserved by the traditional banking sector, if this is what you mean. So we are able to serve customers that traditional bank cannot serve, because of their IT system, because of the way they manage risk, etc., etc. And that's what newcomers like Nickel can do. And so this is what I like in Nickel, is that we are doing business differently, allowing us to serve customers in a different way and to serve more customers than traditional banks.
Now, it would be, of course, amazing to dive a bit deeper here. What is it actually that you're doing differently than the traditional banking? And also, what I found fascinating, as you mentioned, it's been an acquisition of a startup or fast-growing fintech. How do you manage that spirit of the startup against maybe a very traditional a banking system that is thinking in terms of risks, in terms of compliance, in terms of processes, but you have to move fast as a fintech, to serve all these untapped customers. How do you manage? What are your lessons learned?
Yeah, you're right. And I think this is the balance we found between BNP Paribas and the agility of Nickel is really the key of our success. So basically, Nickel was founded 11 years ago exactly, in order to serve people having difficulties to open an account in traditional banks. So that was really the target of the founders. They consider that we all need a bank account to live our daily lives. And they didn't accept that for some people, the access to a bank account is so difficult. So they wanted to create something where everybody can open an account in only 5 minutes, as simple as buying a new phone. Okay, so that was really the target. Do you hear me? Yeah.
I hear you well. Yeah.
Okay. Sorry. So maybe you will cut this part. Sorry.
No problem.
So yeah, Nickel was really created in this target to allow people to open an account in a very simple manner. And how they did it? They did it through two major innovations. The first one is that the account opening process has been completely streamlined in order to be very simple, in only 5 minutes, and answering to all, in compliance with all the regulations. So they brought technology in order to streamline the account opening process, and so that it is as simple as possible for the prospect and for the new customer. And the second innovation, and plus, sorry, the account opening process takes only 5 minutes, and after these 5 minutes, you have your card in your hand, because we have a network of point of sale where you can withdraw your card and everything is working instantly. So that's basically the first innovation we brought. And the second one is that the account works in real time, meaning that there is no risk to be in overdraft, neither for the customer, neither for Nickel. Meaning that we don't have any credit risk with our customers, allowing us to accept much more customers than traditional banks, eliminating this huge risk for banks. So that's what we did, and thanks to the fact that you can open an account in a very simple manner, that we have a network of point of sale which is very powerful, and that the account is in real time, we experienced a huge success from the start. And we have now almost 4.5 million customers across Europe. And as you mentioned, so only 3 years after the launch, the founders decided to sell the company to a big traditional bank like BNP Paribas, the first bank of the Eurozone. And why did they do that? Because they didn't have any banking experience, and growing so fast, they considered at that time that it was important to have more experience in terms of compliance, in terms of anti-money laundering, in terms of operational security, in terms of IT security, etc. So they were experiencing some incidents. They had questions from the regulators as well, and at some point, given the success they had, they considered that it was important for them to be supported by a large group like BNP Paribas. And so far, we managed to, and I think that without the support of BNP Paribas, Nickel would have never experienced the success that we have today. We will never have reached the 4.5 million accounts opened without the support of BNP Paribas, clearly. And so the balance that we found with BNP Paribas is that Nickel keeps a strong autonomy in terms of technology, in terms of products, in terms of marketing strategy, etc., etc. But we strictly follow the rules of BNP Paribas in terms of operational risk, compliance, IT security, and legal risk.
So
And
there's
so that's
something that's really
basically it.
set in stone, yeah, but with others you have complete freedom to really keep that innovation going.
Exactly. And we have a strong support also from BNP Paribas in order to develop the company in new countries, like we did in Spain, Portugal, Belgium, and Germany, as you mentioned. We also have strong synergies with BNP Paribas. Just to mention one, which is quite obvious, is that when we have to negotiate with big providers, of course, we are able to negotiate with the bargaining power of BNP Paribas, which is very helpful for a small company like us. And we also develop business synergy in many ways. So really, we found the good balance to keep the agility of the fintech
Mhm.
and the growth of a fintech while benefiting from the resilience of a group like BNP Paribas.
And so I find this super interesting, yeah, that you say, okay, we have this balance. Yeah. How do you actually keep that culture of innovation within the company going? I could imagine, there are sometimes these moments where say, what are these people in the headquarter doing? Or maybe the people in the headquarter saying, what are these guys doing there? How do you manage and foster a culture of innovation?
Well, the key is to keep trust between each other. Within Nickel, we know that BNP Paribas has a very strong expertise in many ways, in many fields, and we really respect that. And BNP Paribas, they trust also Nickel to be very agile, innovative, and not doing stupid things. And so this is how you maintain the trust between each other. And also, the trust exists as long as you deliver what you promised, So that's also another very important way for us, is that we always deliver what we say we will deliver. So and that's how you maintain the trust between each other, and that's how it works.
So that to say almost like no surprise in either direction. So
Exactly. So
And so that's an interesting thought coming to my mind. Of course, you have this culture. You need to grow fast. You need to be innovative. Yeah. Now, of course, the business is very tech driven. Yeah. And tech talent, at least from what I see in the market, is scarce. Yeah. So it's difficult to find these good people that really have that mindset, that have the skills, that propel you. Yeah. So, in coming a bit from the beyond consulting perspective, yeah, from a staffing perspective, what are the biggest staffing challenges that fintechs face today from your perspective?
well, I must say that we are quite attractive for talents, and especially tech talents, because Nickel manage all its IT system. So we have a very wide autonomy in terms of projects, because we manage internally uh, the main part of our IT system. So in that field, and we use very up-to-date technologies. So in this part, we are quite attractive for tech talents. And the fact that we experience a huge commercial success, and that we are supported by a group like BNP Paribas, I mean, in this way, it's quite easy for us to find talents. But sometimes this is a question of timing.
Mhm,
We
mhm,
found the talent, but not as fast as we want sometimes.
mhm, mhm.
And so for me, this is the main challenge. I mean, to have the good talents when we need them.
And how do you manage that? So do you have an in-house recruiting team? Do you work very closely with your mother company together? Do you use external providers or even like, marketplaces for very short term projects where you need a super fast turnaround?
Yeah, within Nickel, we love to do things by our own. So we have a team of recruiters within the human resources team, and so we do it. But we also use, of course, some external providers to source new candidates. We don't do it so much. We also have the support of BNP Paribas, which can send internal candidates of the group as well. So within Nickel, we have like between 30 to 40 people coming from the group. We are 850 people, just to mention. So, yeah, we also can use external providers to accelerate some recruitment or to find the perfect candidate for the projects we have.
Mhm. And that is, of course, probably mostly tech talent we're speaking about. Because
Right.
remind me, what is kind of the number of tech? You mentioned it when we spoke first. I think it's mostly developers that you have in the company, right?
Right. We have 200 people working in IT and 100 people working in project management, let's say, developing our offer.
Mhm.
So this is a pool of 300, let's say, tech talents. We call them like that. So it's a wide team of people, and in addition to that, we have approximately 50 consultants or freelancers that also work for us.
Mhm. Now, what I find interesting, because it's a mix of people, of course, yeah, and what we see in the staffing industry, that there is also the saying, not every role needs to be a full-time hire. Yeah? So there are sometimes these fractional capacities also, as it's is on vogue now to say, where people work not 100% dedicated on something, but they come in on a 50% mandate. Yeah? But also, as you mentioned, some roles you want to keep in-house, and others are maybe more suited to go externally. And I see also you are expanding a lot into other regions. If you think about that complexity, so are there certain roles where you say, look, this is something that a fintech always should have in-house, be it for whatever perspective. These are some roles that could be done externally. And if you roll out to more and more countries as you grow, are you more relying on basically driving that with the internal people, or do you imagine also a scenario where there is maybe more a freelance-based approach possible?
Well, we don't have like this kind of dogmatic approach. I would say we are very pragmatic. Within Nickel, we decided to keep as much as we can the knowledge inside the company when we develop new things. So I'm not sure I can say that this part of the business we have to do it internally, and this other part can be externalized. We are not thinking like that, let's say. But what I can say is that we try to be as autonomous as we can in terms of managing our core banking system and all the front end products in our system. And we can use external consultant or freelancers in order to accelerate some projects when we need to. So that's more the way we work.
Yeah, and it's in a way to say, if I reflect that back, you need to know your business basically. So the core components you really want to be in charge and control with completely.
Exactly.
And then here and there, you need to push bit a bit or accelerate certain things, and that you can use externals for. Now, one thing that I come across quite often when I speak with executives is this question, of course, when you have consultants that help you accelerate certain projects, Will that be the case still in the future, or will you just have all the project management being dedicated to some AI, for example, that reminds you, that drives the progress, that collects status reports, yeah, that maybe helps you even code certain things? Yeah, where do you see that role of AI facilitating that acceleration versus using consultants also to help you drive business growth?
Of course, we are learning how to work with artificial intelligence, and we are, I think, only at the beginning of the productivity gain that we can um, obtain through AI. And we are experiencing now AI in order to accelerate our project, or to develop faster new products, new offers, etc. But I'm not sure that this will fundamentally change the balance we have between internal resources and external resources for now. I just think that they will all gain some productivity,
Mhm.
both internal resources and external resources. But fundamentally, I don't think it will change the proportion of internal people versus consultants.
Mhm. And if you think we have this discussion again in 10 years, what do you think would have changed?
Wow. Um, I think AI will be very powerful in order to accelerate our ability to develop new offers, new products. Definitely, AI for a company like Nickel will also deeply improve the customer service.
Hmm.
And we will meaning that in the future we will need people being able to use AI tools as well.
Mhm.
So I think that the level of our employee will have to improve. Probably the level of education, etc., will have to improve. But this is I think, a challenge for the whole society, because I mean, with such revolution like AI, it's like maybe robots in the industry 30 years ago.
Mhm.
So we are observing the same kind of revolution. So the way we work will definitely evolve, and we will have very powerful tools at our disposal, meaning that the level of education of our employees must upgrade, of course, and follow the trend.
Thank you. And maybe coming to an end also with regards to spending a bit across what we've talked about. Nickel, of course, how you got there, the role of internal and external consultants in fintechs especially. But and we touched a bit on AI also. But if there was this one thing where you say, okay, our listeners should take away after this episode, what would you suggest it be?
Well, I think that using external consultants can be very powerful when you want to accelerate a project, and when you want to start a project very fast. It's also a very good way to have specific knowledge, specific expertise at some point in time. But um, also the challenge for a fast-growing company like Nickel is also to keep the knowledge inside the company, and to keep a bit of the history of the company inside as well, to ensure a good continuity of service in the future, and to ensure that when you add new people, they don't want to rebuild every time what has been built by their predecessors. And this is the risk I see when you add new resources. They always want to redevelop things sometimes.
Mhm.
And so that's how I see things. So we have a bunch of internal people ensuring the continuity of the company, and we add external resources in order to start faster or accelerate projects, and to add punctual expertise in some aspects. That's the way we do.
Thank you very much, Thomas. It's been a pleasure speaking with you today. And yeah, thank you very much for being on the show.
Thank you, Christian. Thank you all. Bye-bye.